another episode of the Millennial. So on the Millennial today we'll be doing something slightly different from what we usually do. We're introducing Millennial entrepreneurship. So on this series of episodes we'll just be bringing in entrepreneurs who are millennials who are actually doing well. So it's just a way of using them to stand out and encourage others out there, and also it's another way of showcasing what you do and then encouraging others too as well. So other than that, I think I would have to introduce to you who our first guest is on this show. I have to say something. I went through a hard time bringing him here. Olamide, you didn't do me right. He's laughing.
I'm sorry about that. I'm very sorry. And I'm glad to be here.
No, I think you should apologize to them. I would have had this episode like since, but Olamide has been very busy, so please apologize to them.
I'm sorry. And I'm sorry part.
Alright guys, so this is Olamide Baritone. In case you have seen his work anywhere, he is a famous photographer, and he's on the lookout actually. So if you have not seen him before, this is the face. And not just the face today, you're also hearing the voice. I would usually tease him and tell him to go into media because he has the voice.
I'm going
but
to
you ran and left us.
I'm
so just tell me, is there more money in photography so I would have to switch?
No, I would say it's just based on your interests. So every profession has its own way of making ends meet income. So for now, I think I'm in photography. I don't know what tomorrow will be like. That's what I started.
Alright, so guys, let's quickly go on a break. When we get back, Olamide has more for us. So see you soon.
Yeah.
So welcome back from the break. So like I said, if you're just joining us, I have Olamide here, and then he is a photographer. So Olamide, it's lovely to have you.
Yes, same.
It's been ages. And thank you for making our time.
It's okay.
Though it was not easy having you here.
I know. I gave you some time. I know.
I went through hell.
And I'm also happy to be here. It's good to be here.
Okay, thank you very much. I would actually might not have believed that, but hey, you're here now. So it's solving everything. So I just hope you get forgiven because I was supposed to record this episode how many weeks ago? And I kept calling and things kept coming up. And so Olamide, I hope they forgive you because
I'm sorry,
you're here now. I do have a problem.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so quickly, let's just talk about how the journey of photography has been for you.
Okay, I want to say first of all that photography is one of the best things that has happened to me, and it has opened several doors for me. When I mean, it has been like a channel to new discoveries, and I see it as a profession that is worth the world. It's something that I would say if you really love photography, you should be a photographer.
Okay, thank God for that last statement too, because I was actually going to ask how to start. Because the way you're saying it like this is like you're fetching enough from there, and I think it comes with a passion for you, yeah?
Yeah, bulk of it is not really about the money. The first thing is your passion. Okay. What are you really passionate about photography or the profession itself? Because at the startup moments, there are moments where you feel like quitting for real. And so, but then if you are passionate about it and consistent about it, you would, you would soar high, and the money you require or you want from it would eventually come. So first of all, fall in love with it, be passionate about it, do your thing, and then money will come.
Okay, so that passion, yeah,
Yeah.
you have to show us while the episode is going on because I would have a shoot. Allow me there.
It's always
You
a
cannot
pleasure,
be
you
here and
know.
not slap
Of
me.
course, of course, of course.
Okay, so
Yeah.
just what has been your inspiration so far?
My inspiration so far, I would want to start with what inspired me, which is I've always loved nature photography, and then over the years, right, I have been able to infuse my love for nature into my art,
Okay.
and those are some of my inspirations. I love nature. I love playing with nature. So, basically, that's like my
Inspiration.
one source of inspiration.
Okay. So do you have a history like family? Because I know you have a brother who's a photographer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how did it start?
I was born into photography. My dad
Wow. Okay.
was or is a photographer. A photographer is always a photographer. You can't take that out. So it's basically like a family thing. I was born into it, and then I developed it to this point, and that's what has brought me up to this point.
Wow, this is amazing. You know,
Yeah.
to think that you were born in it, you fell in love with it, and you're actually doing well with it right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Seriously. And as in, how do you guys all feel like photography at home? Like, is there sometimes do you guys have this feeling like, okay, I think I am better than this, and
Competition.
or
Oh, okay, I get, like, I think we work as a team.
Wow.
So I really don't see, they say iron sharpeneth iron. So we kind of share with ourselves, and with that we get better. So there's, to a very large extent, we have decided not to bring in competition between ourselves. And as a matter of fact, I think that between the both of us, our style and love for photography, the style of our photography is entirely different. They seem close, but then I think it's quite different. So with that, you don't need to compete. There's no need for competition.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually healthy that to begin with, you guys have different styles. So it's going to help the no competition then. So as a photographer, you have journeyed this almost your entire life, except for the 5 years consistency. What do you think are the challenges faced in photography today?
I want to start by saying that the first challenge is the advent of phone.
Yes, you guys cannot be chopping our money all the time.
This phone thing is now one of the major competition, but then we can tell that photography, a professional camera can compete with any phone. So we're still on top of the game. So one of the competitions or one of the challenges we're facing with photography now is the advent of technology. And then, having the new technology of phones and all. That's one of the challenges. And then one other challenge is the innovations that comes every now and then. Like you need to keep up on your equipment, you need to keep up on your knowledge about photography, because there are new styles, there are new softwares, there are new cameras coming into town, and so you need to keep up on that. So
other than that,
I think there are basically no challenges. For every business, there's always a general challenge, ups and downs and all. Yeah.
Okay, so Olamide, that's beautiful. Let's quickly go on a break. When we return, Olamide will tell us more about photography, just in case you're sitting out there and you have passion for photography. Please do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. See you after the break. back from the break, it is still myself and Olamide talking about photography.
Yeah.
So Olamide,
Yeah.
the great photographer. I've always liked your work, and I'm sure you know that. It's
Yeah.
not because I know you.
I know.
But
I know you've
when I
always
see
been a
something
fan.
good, I actually.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, other than photography, do
Yeah.
you think you can fit in anywhere? And again, other than photography, do you have plans of doing anything?
Other than photography, I want to be a voice actor.
Yes! Yes!
I know you've been waiting for that.
This is a dream come true,
so
guys. I have always waited for you to come here. I know back then we stroke out like your voice. You have this unique voice. I wish I can just take you to Big Brother. So you'd go and be Big Brother. Sometimes we just hear the voice and I'm like, they have not heard of that.
I get.
I'm serious.
I've heard that from people, you know.
Okay,
It was okay, your voice is that, and now, yeah. So, voiceover, and then I would also want to, you know, go into acting. I'm really coming into your line fully, right? I'm just in photography, and then, you know, it's creating like a platform. Meeting you is a platform, and then meeting other people too is a platform. So,
wow, this is beautiful.
I
am so happy to hear this.
They are great plans.
Okay.
And then, you know, aside photography, also I want to do some, you know, business, because usually, if you're not very careful as a photographer, you would end up spending all you have, like all your knowledge. I don't know how to put this, but then you invest so much inside, and then you probably not have something to fall back into.
Okay.
So generally, my ideology about life is once you have something going well for you, have alternative plans. You know, build up some other businesses that can fetch in more incomes for you. So aside some of those things, those are some of the things I like to
beautiful, you know.
yeah.
And considering the economy we are today, you would hardly do one thing that earns you.
Yeah.
Like they keep saying there are no jobs. But today I see a lot of youth springing up to do things, you get. And I don't know, but I can sure imagine that in the next 10, 20 years, a lot of youth will be standing right.
Yeah.
When I say standing right, is what I mean by standing right is they would actually be doing things they love, you get, considering what is happening right now. Because if you meet 10 youths, you will find out that 3 are actually doing something, and then probably maybe 2 are doing something progressively. You get, like, for you to just have an idea first of all, and venture or just establish or just make something out of that idea is something, you get. So I think we are actually evolving, and everything is hard these days. So getting an income from one source of income
is not it at all.
Seriously, it isn't.
You need to really double up and you know, channel your efforts and think.
I'm telling
other
you,
streams of income.
Because you know, when you think that, and when we want to be lazy, we all go that everybody is doing photography. I can't do photography. Everybody is doing makeup. I can't do makeup. But it always boils down to, what do you love? I think the love for what you do keeps you in it. Just like you said, when you study your photography, when you think of the money part of it, is enough to make you want to step back. But the love, I think, was what kept you going.
Yes, love of it, because there are moments where you're faced with challenges, and I think part of the challenges is, you know, you'd be like, okay, I don't have money to get the latest this, I don't have money to get the latest that. So you need to, you know, be focused. I would use focused and determined to really keep up, because at some point you really get so down that you feel, man, I need to give up. So,
but giving up is not an option.
It's not. We've gone too far to give up.
It is not an option anywhere. So, so far, considering the fact that you've been here for a while, I mean the photography thing. So, do you have like a kind of advice for upcoming photographers out there who would probably maybe want to venture into photography properly?
I'd want to say for people or for young professionals who are, aspiring to be a photographer, first of all, love what you do, and then be consistent and learn the act of photography. Quite a number of times you find amateurs who are just eager to make money, but not ready to, build up, put in work, put in skills, because skills comes with customer relations, skills comes with maintaining your clientele. There's a lot more than just being a professional. When they say you're a professional photographer, it goes beyond just knowing how to take those pictures. It goes beyond that. So you need to, know the act and the details of photography, because photography as itself is not just a profession, it's also a business. And if you don't take it in those two dimensions, you end up missing it. And before you know it, you'll be like other photographers who started and then they're no more. Yeah. So you get.
Okay, that's actually beautiful, and just your point exactly, I think fits in for almost any kind of thing.
Any kind of thing, yes.
You will have to love it, put in work, because there are a lot of people doing almost same thing. So what are you doing different? So it's actually a beautiful thing. So just in case you are out there and you actually have love for photography, I think this is enough to help you. And come to think of it, why are you smiling?
I think I know what you want to say. So
okay, just say it. If you know it. If you
no. I will let you say it.
No, you have to say it. So what do you think?
No, I'm going to let you say it.
Okay. And if it's not it, then you tell me.
Yes,
this
I
is
will.
almost like a dare now,
I'll tell you.
or a truth. I don't know which one. So I would just love to say you were in Jos and you told me something like you relocated, but you know this job is not the kind of job you stay in one place. So even if you are abroad, you could actually contact Olamide and he would come and work. So tell us about how your relocation has been, considering that you are very famous.
Yeah, I know I was quite famous in Jos, and a lot of people would probably be feeling, okay, why is he leaving? He's doing very well and all. For me, I think, first of all, I established earlier that it's really not about the money most times.
Okay.
I'm not trying to say I'm not here for money. Yeah. I'm here for money, but I want a situation whereby I feel challenged. I don't want to be too comfortable with where I am. Comfort zone. So I feel the need to actually spread out, and so that was what informed my move. And then, since I've been here, I've been seeing a lot of challenges, learning new things. Okay, it's different from where we are. It's a larger market, and how do you penetrate into the market and all. So it's a new ball game entirely. So it's an interesting thing for me entirely. So it's not, I wouldn't say it's been easy, but then it's an interesting thing.
Wow.
And I'm willing to go all the way for it.
Yeah. I do, yeah?
Yeah.
You're a fighter.
Yeah.
So, Olamide, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
Everything you have said here is quite inspiring. It's not just inspiring, it's educative, So, aside that, other than that, I think you're done. But you only a shoot. You can't come on this shoot and just go.
This shoot must be done today.
It has to be done today.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, we'll just round off the session with a shoot, like a proper shoot. So
let's
I am going to be his model.
No, she's going to be my photographer. I'm the model.
You want to embarrass me?
No. The aim of this show is to make you a photographer. So you are now a photographer.
I can just end this show and we'll start going. I cannot come and embarrass myself. Hey guys, it's a photo shoot session. You just stay back and watch how it's been done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the essence of it. Don't get bored. We are not here to bore you at all.
No.